Hey guys, this is Dave here with Fight Bananas, and before we get started with Laura Sanko, let's thank one of our supporters, Fusion CBD Products. Guys, check them out at fusioncbdproducts.com, or of course, hit up their IG at Fusion CBD. Fusion CBD, I take it daily, the freeze, the rub, the drops, they got it all. And of course, check out their sister company, Fusion Coffee Beans. Check them out at Fusion Coffee Beans on the Instagram. And guys, put in our code right now for 20% off at Fight 2020. That's Fight 2020 for 20% off your full order at Fusion CBD Products. All right, guys, back on the Fight Bananas podcast. Absolutely one of our favorites. Laura Sanko, how are you doing?
I am doing great. I am currently running around doing errands, trying to get ready for my next trip.
They keep you busy there. If it's an Invicta FC, if it's Fight Island, now the Contender, it's a love of both of ours coming back. We are so happy, but it's awesome. They're keeping you extremely busy.
They are keeping me extremely busy. I still feel like I genuinely feel like I'm still recovering from Fight Island. I'm not going to lie. That was a long trip, and that time difference was a doozy.
Right. Hey, let's get into that right away. I saw you, we definitely follow you on social media, and you kept on putting it on your stories how, it's literally 6 or 7 or 8 a.m., and you kind of have to stay up in a way all night, right, to kind of do the show. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, I had to report to the arena at midnight for one of them, and I think like 11:30 or 11 for the other one, and that was the start of my day. And I get there hours before the fight starts, so it was crazy. I came in to Fight Island with all these like great plans and great expectations for managing my sleep schedule. I had my melatonin planned out. I couldn't take my CBD with me because they have super strict laws there. And that kind of screwed me a little bit, but it was best plans just completely laid to waste, because as soon as you get there, your circadian rhythms are just like, no, we're here. We're gonna do this now. And I got caught somewhere in the middle. I think a lot of people did. And frankly, I think it's why we had some weird performances, to be honest with you.
Right. And you got to think about it, too, as a fighter who, they've trained for so long, and it's this one moment, this, 15 minutes or 25 for a course for the title fight, and they have to quarantine, they have to do so much. But guys for like you and John and some of those, you guys are there for, multiple days. You guys have multiple shows. You're studying for multiple guys. I don't want to say you're doing more than what the fighters are doing, but you guys just have more going through your brain, if that makes sense. Am I coming from the right direction?
Yeah, it's just a lot more scattered. I mean, certainly not more intense.
Right.
A lot to do, for sure. Especially, what I was doing there was nothing compared to what John Anik was pulling off in terms of prepping for, 3 shows, bam, 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 right in a row. That is a lot of tape study and statistics to get straight, and that he's the man. And John Gooden as well. But both those guys really put in a ton of work to make those broadcasts, the sound as good as they do.
Right. It was incredible. And I don't know if you watched it back, or of course you probably watched it when you got back on the, the second half, especially that Till Whitaker main event, which was just phenomenal. Just the whole, we talked about it, Taryn Temple and I, we talked about it on Coffee and Cage Talk, and just, it has to go down as one of the greatest ideas, and then not even that, follow-throughs in the history of all sports. It looked amazing, it felt amazing, it sounded amazing. Kind of, now you've been back it's been a week or two, and we will get into the Contender series, I promise, it's our baby, but it's like, to kind of, you go through it and you work it, are you proud, or you kind of look back like, holy shit, we did that,
Oh, 100%. I don't think I had a full appreciation for the number of man hours, and I can only comprehend the amount of money, both in terms of what Abu Dhabi brought to the table and what the UFC brought to the table. The number of people and the amount of work that went into pulling those shows off was unbelievable to see firsthand. The people, everyone that we came in contact with in the safe zone in Abu Dhabi, every single hotel worker, all the people at the racetrack, all the people at the beach, everywhere in that entire safe zone, all of the workers had to quarantine by themselves for 2 straight weeks, which,
Gosh.
I obviously I've been under certain amounts of quarantine here in Kansas City. To be honest with you, they haven't been overly strict.
Right.
So when I got there and did like a legit don't leave your room, not even for a moment, for 48 hours, it's fucking, excuse my language, it's hard. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So the fact that all of those workers did that for 2 weeks was just awesome. And I was very proud to be a part of all of it. I'm glad to be home at the same time.
Absolutely. I'll tell you a quick story, and then I will ask you for a story as well, kind of a Fight Island behind-the-scenes story that we didn't see on ESPN. But it's funny that you just mentioned the whole quarantine thing. That with me, my wife and I, we have multiple kids, and we kind of had like a scare, right? My wife wasn't feeling good, and we got one of those scares. So we have multiple kids, so she quarantined in our bedroom. And both of us, me, I'm running around I'm dad of the year trying to, I got the twin girls, I'm cleaning up, I'm trying to get dinners ready, so on and so on. And then her and it's a real thing. People don't understand the mentality of it. She's like, I just got to get out of the room. I hear the girls crying,
Yes.
I hear this going on. And there's only so much Netflix and there's only so much you can lay down and social media that you can do before it's okay, I literally just need to walk or, see somebody, touch somebody. It's crazy. So I know exactly where you're coming from on that.
It is. It's just I have a much greater appreciation for the people doing that for us in order to make that event happen, for sure.
Right. I will never commit a crime. I don't think I would be good in a jail cell. I just can't do it.
Nope.
But yeah, I would love, Laura, if you can, it can be super funny. It can be very emotional, whatever you have for us. Some kind of behind the scenes Fight Island story with a friends or with fighters or someone or just particular to you.
Oh, that's a good question. I think the most fun that we had was getting to race, go on. So the
Yes.
F1 track there goes kind of through the hotel, actually. It's sort of a bridge. We're obviously not exposed to the cars, but that was super fun. I had done a Porsche driving experience before, but I had never done a car that drifts like that. And it was absolutely terrifying. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is how hot Abu Dhabi is, because they don't even allow the racetrack to open during the day in these months, because it's too hot for the cars to even function. So they don't even start booking time slots until I think 7 p.m. So you could do 7, 8, or 9, or 10. So we went at 10 o'clock at night. It's still well over 100 degrees.
Gosh.
It's humidity like I've never experienced before. On top of that, so I went with James Krause, Tim Elliott, and Gina Mazzani, and we were sweating buckets. I mean buckets. James and Tim in particular got out, and they were wringing their clothes out. It was absolutely hilarious. Gina threw up. I'm outing her right here.
Yes.
She wouldn't care. She did it gracefully, though, not in the car, which apparently happens a lot.
Ooh.
But she just sort of gracefully excused herself afterwards, went to the ladies' room and took care of business. But I was moments behind her. I kind of was able to get mine under control, but the first ride along I did was fine. And then the second one I did was in an Aston Martin GT4, and they brake so heavily before the corners. That was what really got me.
Right.
It was almost like the drifting was easier, because you kind of, I don't know, it just was not the stopping and starting. The second ride I did, I was like, oh my gosh, I may not make it to the end of this before I'm like, this is not good.
Oh,
James said
goodness.
he got pretty sick too, but neither of us threw up.
Well, you're a trooper. Come on, it's Laura Sanko. It's you got to.
Yeah, I can't lose face.
Yeah, come on.
They've got a camera. They've got a camera on you in those cars. I cannot be throwing up on camera. That'd be everywhere.
Right. Dana White
Literally.
would be on his Instagram stories be saying millions of people are watching you on Facebook, and here's a throw up thing for Sanko. So come on, you couldn't do it. You're definitely a trooper.
No.
Man, I definitely want to get into the contender, but there's just still more here that I want to hit on. For one, with you being there for the week, of course, Masvidal and everything he went through. How about Chimaev, who's just he's the biggest star in mixed martial arts right now. Then, of course, the Whitaker-Till, the finale of Fight Island. And I know you weren't there for all of it, but did a couple guys jump out at you, a storyline jump out at you? What was that thing you're like, yep, I'm bringing that home, and this is something we're going to watch throughout the whole of 2020, and it kind of organically happened. It started there on Fight Island.
It's hard not to give that title to Chimaev.
Right.
He really is the storyline of Fight Island for sure, to have two, not wins, not even just finishes, but in both of those fights. I don't remember what the strike total was, but he had 2 strikes landed on him in 2 fights where he racked up in the hundreds of strikes coming from. It was unbelievable performances. Now, I'm not yet ready. Here's where I am on him. I'm on the platform. I've purchased my ticket. I have my baggage in hand. I am ready to get on the hype train.
Okay.
I'm just not quite on. I'm not seated yet.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No.
I need him to fight a Mike Perry or a Cowboy or, and I'm naming people, of course, that have kind of bigger names just because I think that
Michael
is going to be the type of fight he gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chiesa, Neil Magny, even
yes.
he needs to fight a legit guy, and Neil might even be a little bit too highly ranked for him at this point, but he needs to fight a legit guy that's got
Sure.
a good name and see how he does there, because frankly he's beating these guys in the way that he should be. Now, still impressive. It does not take away from his performances at all. It just still leaves a tiny bit of a question in terms of what I want to know he's capable of doing against a legit middle of the road guy, top 15 guy.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. I always love seeing videos of high school, great football players or great basketball players, like Shaquille O'Neal. When he was in high school, he just looked so much bigger and stronger. And people Chimaev is doing this. They're still legitimate too UFC fights. Even the best of the best. I remember Khabib Nurmagomedov on the prelims, and of course, Anderson when he fought Chris Lieben in his first fight. It was still, they looked amazing, but it was still a fight. These 2 matchups so far, he just looks like they're not even in the same realm. They're not even in the same galaxy, for one. And I couldn't agree with you more. It is Chimaev. With Laura, you know how you and I were just so much in it. We wake up, we read it, we talk about it, our friends, blah, blah, blah. When I see family members and just middle-class America, they're like, Dave, how do you say his name? Who's this guy with the beard? I'm like, it's Chimaev. It's, when the middle-class America's asking me about it, I'm like, okay, we got something. You know what I mean? So I'm so happy that Fight Island created a superstar. With...
Oh, absolutely.
I felt like O'Malley...
Sorry,
No, it's all right. It's all right. I was just saying, I think O'Malley was the superstar out of the Apex, that little era. To me, Chimaev was the superstar out of the Fight Island era, if I could say.
I completely agree. And normally, when you've got someone, I know he trains at All Stars in Sweden, but when you've got someone from Europe or from Russia, you're concerned that they're going to be limited by their ability to speak English. He's got plenty of English, and I'm sure his English will grow like crazy in the next couple of years, but he's already there. I mean, he has enough English to already be very attractive on the mic as well. I love his brother, I smash.
Yes.
I smash these guys. He doesn't even have to really shit talk. He can just say with honesty what he believes and knows to be true. But I love his brother, please, brother, come on. These guys are not on my level, brother.
Absolutely. One of, Conor McGregor's greatest line ever, and he's had so many, is this, when Jeremy Stevens was talking, he's like, who the fuck is that guy? Sometimes less is more, and you're so right. I was going to literally say the same thing, I'm going to smash. The whole smash, that's all he needs. That's his trademark, that's his line. Just, anytime any reporter or interview goes, hey, Chimaev, would you like this opponent? Goes, yes, I will smash. That's it. He's a billionaire in the work. So There we go. That was the Fight Island recap. There's been so much great UFC. It's just been, God, it's been mind-blowing. I'm just so pumped and proud of kind of the area we're in. I swear, last thing before the Contender, probably maybe one of the biggest combat sports news in a long, long time. When did you hear of it, and what's your take on this Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. back boxing match, September 12th, pay-per-view? It's big. Like, it's out there, and I would just love your take on it.
Listen, I feel two different ways about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I will most likely buy it. I will most likely.
Okay.
I will watch it. There's a part of me that doesn't love it. I don't mean to rain on anybody's parade in saying this. I like to keep the image of certain fighters pristine in my mind, right? But
sure.
That being said, like, if they can go out there and if Mike can look the way he's been looking on those pads with Rafael Cordero,
yeah,
and if Roy Jones, I mean, if they can be who we know that they're capable of being, it's going to be incredible to see. On paper, I don't love the idea of guys that age fighting again, but that's just me being, I don't know, that's me being a square, I guess.
No, it's okay, and it's a great opinion, and it's definitely merit and all that. The one thing I would say, my kind of rebuttal would be, for one, I know, and I'm just lucky enough to kind of be in that circle of I know both guys are training, and both guys are taking it serious, and both guys do look good. People have seen the videos of Tyson and they kind of went viral, but Roy has his own videos that just, he just hasn't put it out there. He just didn't need to put it out. He didn't think he was making this return. And then the probably my favorite part about this is that I knew two really close possible opponents for Mike, for Tyson. And to be honest, I probably would have been in your side if those fights went through. And I just didn't like it because the age difference, or didn't like it because of there wasn't any, the history, or it didn't make sense. But when they match these guys, who's 54 and 51, and they're both, from the 90s and that old school boxing when the UFC wasn't around, to me it just has this iconic, a very good glow around it. I'm super excited about it. I won't lie to you, I'm super biased. I'm just a Roy Jones guy. He's just one of my guys. So, but I can't wait. September 12th.
You sold me. You've sold me.
There
All right,
go.
I'm in the boat. I'm on it now.
There you go. Hey, it's $50. Come on, it's $50. But, okay, here we go. The Contender, it's back. I'm so excited. There's just nothing like it to me. It's the NFL draft to the NFL. It's all these young and hungry fighters that are, this is it. This is their absolute shining moment. Their one time to fight in front of Dana White and to make it. And I'm just so proud of the show. I'm so happy for the show. But I know how much it means to you. So I would just kind of almost you take it away, and just how excited you are for Dana White's Contender Series back on ESPN+.
I'm unbelievably excited. It's hard for me to honestly put into words how much the show means to my, on a purpose. Like, my year wouldn't be the same without it.
Right.
But beyond that, like, every fight on the Contender Series, every single fight has so much meaning behind it for those two fighters. And I'm an emotional person. I enjoy being part of people's stories, I guess, and being able to see them express themselves. And like, every UFC fight is awesome, and I'm a huge fight fan, and I can literally get into any fight, no matter how boring other people think it is. I think it's cool. But Contender Series is so next level in terms of what is at stake, what has gone into getting the fighter to that moment, backstory. I think they do such a good job of kind of in a relatively short period of time exposing the fans to who these fighters are as people, the struggles that they've been through in their life, where they come from, what they are like, what is important to them. Do they have kids themselves? Are they married? Is this their one last shot at the UFC, or are they, really early in their career and they're just, going gangbusters right now? There's so many different angles that everyone comes from on the show. and then you see them fight, and they fight like that, right? Like,
yes,
every single fight on the Contender Series is full of action because of what at stake, because Dana White is sitting 10 feet away watching every move, and alongside Mick and Sean, and that is their one moment to really go out there and prove that they belong in the UFC. So the stakes could not be higher, and for me to be able to facilitate a small part of that show and be there when these fighters' dreams comes true, it's incredible. It's awesome. It makes me emotional every single week. It's like a roller coaster that I'm on right alongside them.
No, that's awesome. There's so many different ways I can take it, but I'm going to go this way with it, I think. In the co-main event of the finale of the Verdum, for the Till Whitaker, so Verdum versus Alexander Gustafsson. It was Gus's return to heavyweight. Verdum came back from the suspension, fought in Jacksonville, and it was a big fight for him, a return fight. But he was champion. Gus fought Bones for the title. Like, it had so many storylines, but the fight was over, and we kind of know both guys had bigger fights in the past, and probably, just to be honest, probably bigger fights moving forward. One thing I love, absolutely adore about the Contender Series is we absolutely know this is the biggest fight of their career right now. Like, right here, there hasn't been a bigger fight. There won't be a bigger fight in the near future. Like, this is it. This is their chance to get that 4-fight deal for the UFC, and there's just nothing like it. There's like a do or die about it. It's a championship, Super Bowl fight for every single fighter, and it's just this. You just can't help to be attracted to that,
Oh, absolutely. It's like if somehow, which it's obviously not, if somehow football was an individual sport and they had to play a game and then immediately after that have the NFL draft.
Yes.
Like the emotion of sitting there on a razor or not say your name, or, it's just, it's amazing to see firsthand, and I love every moment of it.
Wow. And then this is going to, once in a while, you and I, we go deep. This is going to be a real serious question for you, Laura. How are you not going to hug the fighters after they win? How are you not going to hug them? How are you not going to be excited and give them a high five? How is this not going to happen?
That's such a real question. You have no idea. I have been bugging the producers about it for weeks now. Like, am I going to be able to stand even in the same vicinity? Right. It drives me crazy. To be honest with you, I don't know the logistics yet of the exact setup. I doubt I'll be able to stand next to them or touch them or hug them, and it's going to drive me nuts. We're going to have like an emotional release session after every show for me, because I'm going to have so much pent up emotion going on there. But I'm happy that the show is taking place, and we'll do whatever we have to do to make it happen, and then hopefully soon enough, maybe some things will relax and we can get back to normal.
Absolutely. Laura, we appreciate your time so much. We're going to let you run. I got probably one last thing for you. Like I said, we love having you on the show. Probably definitely one of our absolute favorites. Okay, when is the podcast with Anthony Smith coming back? We're big fans of that. We saw it. You got a cool little, header going into it. You and Anthony, of course, have great chemistry. So when can we look forward to seeing the next episode?
Soon, hopefully.
Okay.
He and I are impossible in terms of like getting our schedules on the same place. And we knew going into this that we're like, okay, we're gonna play it by ear at first, not gonna stress about it too much. And obviously he's got his fight coming up. So for now, we're kind of doing it when it works. And hopefully once his fight's over, we'll get to a serious schedule, and hopefully, I mean, our intention would be to do it after every UFC fight, or at least after most UFC fights. So hopefully that's the schedule that we'll get on. But right now we're just dealing with life, man.
I know.
Too much life.
Too much life. Oh, my goodness. Laura, if I didn't hit on anything, or if you had any else, you wanted to jump on, definitely go away. If not.
No, you're good. You're good. You probably can hear I'm in the middle of a rainstorm right now, so I'm sorry if it's getting kind of loud in the background here.
No worries at all.
I'm sitting in my car and it's pouring.
Oh, my goodness. We went through that. We actually, Dean Toole and I, we went live to Oxford, Mississippi for the Bare Knuckle Pinnacle FC show. And for one, if you've never been to Oxford, Mississippi, don't go. And two is, like, it should have been 5 or 6 hour car ride. Both car rides were like 10 hours. It was just raining nonstop on us.
Oh.
And it was crazy, too, because the whole way there and back, it was just all fight business, and he had so many things. You know, his phone was ringing nonstop about the Roy Jones thing. I don't know if you heard, there's a new MMA promotion on UFC Fight Pass September 24th. Icon Fighting Federation. Dean Toole was matchmaking for the show, so many big things. It was just cool. Like, I was like his chauffeur, and I'm just hearing all this gossip. I'm like, ooh, this is fun. So big things are in the works. And Laura, we can't wait to see you on the Contender. We can't wait to see you. Are you going to be out there for the Apex for that Stipe DC trilogy?
I will be, yes.
Ooh, okay. Well, there we go.
Sure will.
Hopefully we'll talk to you right before then or right after then. And like I said, we really do appreciate you and your time. And be blessed, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, later, Laura.
All right, bye.
Guys, here we go. Fight.
All right. Guys, there it is. There's no one better in the game than Laura Sanko. And how cool is it that she brought up the whole CBD? So I'm telling you guys, check out at least our guys there at Fusion CBD products. We absolutely love them. We adore them. Also, other companies that have been so gracious to us. I'm talking about Warhammer Fightwear. Podcast 1, I think we're around 275, 280. We just keep on grinding. Guys, check out WarhammerFightwear.com. They have some of the best gear in all the mixed martial arts. Great leggings for the ladies. Maybe we got to get a Laura Sanko leggings out to her. Come on, Warhammer. You know, she can sport them off on the Contender series. And so much more, guys. We got Retro Grappler. They got all the rash guards from your Saturday morning memories. I'm talking about G.I. Joe and Rugrats, Star Wars, maybe even a Fight Bananas in the works. Mako Tech mouth guards. If you guys need a mouth guard, check out Mako Tech, TEK _ mouth guards on the IG. Check them out at Mako Tech mouth guards. Last but definitely not least, our family at N Still Nutrition. They have all the supplements. We're in hard times right now. Definitely take care of your body, take care of your mind, and you can do that at nstillnutrition.com. All right, guys, we are out. We have had such a run. Roy Jones Jr., Contender Series fighters Ty Flores and Impa Kasanganay. Impa came on the show to break the news. How about Sergio Pettis? To me, one of the absolute best bantamweight fighters on this damn planet. What a run. Thank you guys so much. Keep on listening, subscribing, liking, sharing, rating, loving. Share it with an enemy. They love that. All right, guys, have a good day. Stay blessed, and we'll talk to you very, very soon.